It's the first night snowing in Calgary. I'm just on my way home. Now, usually I make this type of stripped away video when I'm sitting in my car, and I'll get to that a little down the line, but this video is gonna be me just talking about karma, my thoughts on it, and I've always been kind of skeptical of this idea of karma, but it just has kind of crystallized for me that it's something that actually exists. Hands are freezing, but I just want to get these thoughts out because I really feel like it's important. And on this channel, I always try to talk about how you can live in line with the person you wish to be, and it's very positive and optimistic, but the reality is I'm human, I make mistakes all the time, and tonight I had an experience that honestly most people would be kind of afraid of sharing, but I really feel like it's just important for me to be real and authentic. And one of my favorite quotes from Nelson Mandela is that I can never lose. I either win or I learn. And let me say, I am learning a ton tonight. So let me tell you the story of how karma crystallized for me. I'm trying to open this lock, but my hands are so freaking cold. Finally got in here. Welcome to the humble abode. I live here with a couple buddies I went to school with and a couple of their buddies, so this is it. We are in Calgary, Alberta. Now, for the past couple of years, I've lived with my aunt and uncle at their place. Look at this. Look at this beautiful little, this is where I sleep. This is it. This is all the space I have to myself, but I absolutely love it. Okay, so story time. Now living on my own, learning how to cook, and being, quite busy with all the things that I'm trying to do. I don't want to spend every night cooking, and so I meal prep. I cook once a week, right? I always go out to Kananaskis to do this. I was out home. That's where I'm from. I actually have an exciting video coming up with my mom where we went on a hike, and she teaches us all about how to relieve stress through hiking and spirituality, which probably actually relates to karma. I was out in Kananaskis meal prepping, and so I was just going to stay the night. Today is Monday at the time of recording, and so I'm just going to stay the night, wake up early the next day, and just drive to school. Driving to school, and it's like 7:30 when I leave. It's about an hour-long drive. All my food's in my car, golf clubs are still in my car, and I knew I was going to be running a little bit late, so I was just going to duck into the parking lot and I had a presentation I was giving, so I didn't want to be too late, and usually the spot I park is free. It's like a 10-minute walk, but I just wanted to save those 10 minutes and just park as close as I possibly could. And so I park in the short-term lot. It's like 8:45 when I get there. I get into class, give my presentation on how money can't buy happiness, and just kind of go about my regular days at school. I spend like all day here. That's what my days look like from like 8 a.m. until like 8 p.m. I just spend it in the halls at Mount Royal, in the classes, in the gym, filming content, doing homework, all that good stuff. This is luxury living right here. Oh, little butter chicken. Okay, so by the time this microwave is done, I'm gonna finish telling you the rest of the story. So it's now like 5 p.m. and I'm scheduled to have a meeting with one of my good friends, Bianca Veltri, and one of my new mentors, Raheem Sajan, and he's like the founder of TEDx. So he's someone who I really look up to, and I say founder of TEDx Calgary, and so he's a teacher in the area, and just so awesome to meet with him, get that mentorship. And then call ends, I end up just, procrastinating, watching YouTube for like 3 hours, and I was watching videos on like how to work harder, and it was my way of procrastinating, so I was kind of beating myself up about it. I made a video how I feel so angry about how I'm perpetually dissatisfied between where I am and where I want to go. And so I was watching these videos knowing I was procrastinating the work I needed to do, and I left those halls fully ready, to take on the work and really become more dialed than ever. And so I walk back to my car. It's like a 5-minute walk. I get back to my car, the spot at least I thought I parked my car, and not there. No, like I'm pretty sure I parked in this spot. And so I walk back to the same spot. Car is nowhere to be seen. Now, one of the things about me is I'm not one to panic really quickly. I just kind of nodded my head and I was like, Okay, well, I guess if you don't pay for parking, they tow your car. And so I'm not usually someone who knows my license plate. Like I've never memorized my license plate number. And yet for whatever reason this week, my mom sent me a text like, hey, can you send me your license plate number? And so I had that text message and I was able to look up online with the parking authority if they had taken my car. And as it turns out, they have. Now look, I don't just want to come across as some freaking idiot who didn't pay his parking pass, because I feel like there's some lesson in here. And the lesson I've learned, it's the lesson about karma. And one of my good buddies, Luigi, him and I had a great conversation a couple weeks ago, and he always talks about how he views life as different chapters that he lives, and each chapter has a core lesson. And I really feel like the chapter that I'm currently in is the chapter of karma. Now look, I used to be kind of skeptical of all this stuff, but I looked up karma on the old Google, the old trusty, and it says it's a relationship between a person's mental or physical action and the consequences following that action. And while many people's reaction would have been, oh my god, I can't believe they towed my freaking car, my reaction was one of almost empathy to the tow truck driver, in the sense that I have many unpaid parking tickets, and so I deserve to have to deal with going to the impound, getting my car, Ubering there, and just what can I glean from this? What is the lesson I can have in this? I really feel like this lesson on karma, it's really got the wheels turning. And karma doesn't just work with negative things. So it got me thinking, like, if this channel is all about helping people live in line with the person they wish to be, like, genuinely, that is all I want. And however I can help you do that, I'm starting to create videos where I tell people stories. If I'm doing that for other people and I'm living clean, that's something my dad has always told me, is to live clean. So Dad, if you're watching this, you're probably cringing, but this is such a prominent lesson, because the more positive action you give out to people, I call it being that person. It's holding the door, it's sending voice recordings to people, it's calling a loved one and telling them that you love them. It's all these little micro things add up, and karma will pay back dividends big time. And karma's also paying its dividends to like creators on YouTube. I mean, you see the story of Mr. Beast and how that guy was grinding for years and years and years and years until finally he started to gain traction, and he took off. From the perspective of this channel and just learning and having a learning mindset, and to go back to the Nelson Mandela quote, like, I never lose, I either win or I learn. Me being a bit of an idiot, getting my car, taken away, maybe getting almost cocky, knowing that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get, what are they gonna do, tow my car? And sure enough, they do. Like, for instance, this past week I was in Banff, at the Banff Springs. I was at this incredible gathering summit, and every day to park at the Banff Springs, it was $45. And I said, no, I'm not paying that. Why would I pay $135 just to leave my car here? And as it turns out, that cockiness, me getting these tickets at Mount Royal, my mom asking for my license plate, the fact that I have summer tires on my car, and yet it's the first day of snow today, and so for my car to be towed today, it made me think that it's not just some coincidence. There has to be some reason. And looking at this here, it says that the origins of this is in Buddhism, and I really feel like it's relevant. Now, I know I'm rambling on. This probably isn't a video that is designed for virality. This is a video that I want to just tell the story to my most loyal followers, and who knows, maybe people who don't know me will be watching at this point too, but it's just, I'm really thinking a lot about karma, and I think in some weird backwards way, today feels like a win. Not because my car is impounded, but I had to learn the lesson of my car being impounded, which I'm gonna get in the morning. I'll show proof of that at the end of the video. But it has more to do with the fact that you can utilize karma in positive ways to positively impact other people, and that's what this channel is all about. So I appreciate you all being here. I'm gonna show you me getting my car in the morning, but Mom, I'm sorry for being an idiot, although at least it's cold enough outside that my food will stay cold tonight, so What a day. What a day. Thank you all so much. There she is. Oh my goodness. What a way to start the morning. What a day. What a day.